what are HABs? HABs is the acronym for harmful algal blooms. They are a rapid growth of algae or cyanobacteria that causes harm to people, animals, or even the local ecology. Basically, HABs occur when colonies of algae, which are simple plants that live in the sea and fresh water, start growing out of control. They start creating these dead zones in water, and then these blooms start producing toxic or harmful effects on people and fish, marine life, and even birds. Now, there are other forms of algae which may be non-toxic, but they do eat up all of the oxygen in the water as they decay. They tend to clog the gills of fish or other invertebrates, or suffocate corals and submerged aquatic vegetation. Now, some other discolor water from huge, maybe smelly piles on beaches or contaminate drinking water. And many people also use the term which we refer to as the red tide, which also refers to harmful algae blooms, but not all HABs turn the water red. Blooms may appear in a variety of colors depending on the species of the algae involved, and some HABs have really no color at all. They could occur in fresh water, such as lakes and rivers, and salt water, such as oceans, or even the bay. Harmful algal blooms are a major environmental problem in all 50 states of the United States. Collectively, these events are called harmful algal blooms or HABs. So I guess the question is, what causes them? What causes harmful algal blooms? There are three things that primarily are needed for these events to occur. One is sunlight, the other is slow moving water, and the third is a source of nutrients. Primarily, we talk about nitrogen and phosphorus. Now, nutrient pollution occurs from human activities, which makes the problems worse. It leads to more severe blooms, and it makes it even more often. These blooms happen more often. So where do these nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, where do they come from? The primary sources of excess nitrogen and phosphorus are predominantly agricultural. The nitrogen and phosphorus in animal manure and chemical fertilizers are necessary to grow crops. But when these nutrients are not fully utilized by the plants in the agricultural process, they could be lost from the farm fields, and then they start negatively impacting water bodies downstream. The second source is stormwater. When rainfall falls on our cities and towns, it runs across impervious areas like sidewalks and rooftops and roads. And as it does that, it carries pollutant loadings, which includes nitrogen and phosphorus. That then runs into our local waterways or water bodies. The third is wastewater. Our sewer and septic systems are responsible for treating large quantities of waste, and these systems sometimes do not always operate properly or may not remove enough nitrogen and phosphorus before discharging them into the waterways. And septic tanks are one of those sources. At our homes, we use fertilizers, pet waste, soaps, detergents. Soaps and detergents contain nitrogen and phosphorus, and they can contribute to nutrient pollution if not properly used or disposed. The amount of hard surfaces and landscaping that we have in our homes, that can also change and alter the amount of runoff which contains nitrogen and phosphorus, especially during a heavy rainfall or a wet weather event. Now, these blooms are a national concern because they affect not only the health of the people and the marine ecosystems, but also the health of our economy, especially true in our coastal communities, which are dependent on the income of jobs generated through fishing and tourism. So what can we really do as individuals? First and foremost is to become aware of what HABs are. The Environmental Protection Agency in the US has some great resources, as well as the Centers for Disease Control, to further citizen awareness and education. Second, I think there are opportunities to volunteer to monitor water bodies for algae blooms and to report suspected areas so that proactive action can be taken by local agencies. Most importantly, we have to promote the reduction of pollutant loadings by incorporating green infrastructure incentivizing opportunities for private development where it happens by incorporating all of the tools in the toolbox, finding alternative sources for fertilizers and other products which causes the nutrient overloads in the first place, and then make wiser choices as consumers. Phosphate-free detergents, pick up after your pet, maybe after you walk them, and try to walk them away from streams or waterways. Inspect your septic tanks if you have one periodically, and pump them out more often. There's a host of resources that the Environmental Protection Agency in the United States has to offer. Please visit epa.gov. It all starts with us as consumers. Let's work together. After all, it is one water for one world.